Trooper A1, The Purple Blitzkrieg by Gabrielle Marie Kozak. Book 1 of the Trooper series. Narrated by the author. Chapter 17. Smash! Shattered glass spewed everywhere. The policeman in the passenger seat shouted loudly as he flew forward into the dashboard, a shout completely drowned out by Derek's piercing yell and Rocky's accompanying howl. The yell was Derek's first reaction. His second reaction was to look down at himself. Reginald's car had slammed directly into his door at an angle, catching Derek's left hand between itself and the dashboard of Derek's car. The hood of Reginald's car had pushed its way through the door all the way to Derek's chest, which he now realized hurt horribly. But even worse was his hand. It hurt like... He could dimly hear the police from the other car jumping out and running to the scene of the crash. His companion was totally out. The arrest was being made, and the other officers were pushing Reginald's car away to free Derek. A moment later, Derek's left hand fell down to his lap. It had been crushed by the twisted metal and was bleeding hard. "Officer!" one of his compatriots exclaimed. "Can you get out of there?" "No," Derek gritted. He tried moving even just his hand and was met with a spasm of pain that made him gasp for breath and would have made him double over if it hadn't been for his screaming ribs. The policeman stuck his head into the car. "Hold still, the ambulance is on the way." "Rocky, he's fine, relax." Derek shut his eyes. There was so much pain, he knew instinctively that his career was totaled. Meanwhile, the first thing Maura did upon arriving at home after a long drive of absolute silence was to follow her father and mother into the house, but she didn't appear to be brokenly dazed as did her parents. She closed the door behind them and caught her father's arm. He turned to look at her. She saw something in his eyes, something deep and sad, and hesitated a moment before making her request in a voice curiously strong. "Dad, may I have Connor's phone, please?" That afternoon was bright and sunny, but the sun's cheerful, golden beams found it unexpectedly hard to pierce their way through the dark blue curtains of Maura's bedroom. After repeated tries, they seemed to give up. Barely any light at all shone through. Maura was inside, sitting at her desk, busy at work on her father's old computer that he let the twins use sometimes when they needed a computer. Connor's phone was plugged into it, sitting beside the old-fashioned computer box, its screen showing a strange display for a smartphone. Clearly, Maura was busy at work, hacking it. A terminal was open on her screen, and she was typing in various command lines, pausing often to consult a hacker's guide lying open on her desk. Its pages were held open to a section on tracking by a mug of iced tea. Maura was being exceedingly careful not to upset it. It might be added here that she considered something to drink an essential for productive coding, almost as necessary as the guide. And a cup of iced tea, or even better, a mug of hot chocolate, could last her for hours when she was really absorbed in her work. It didn't look like she'd be disturbed any time soon, either. The door was locked, and her parents weren't going to start banging on it for a while yet. It was supper time, but no one in the White home had any appetite. So Maura jumped when her phone started ringing and looked up guiltily before realizing it was her phone and not something or someone else. Whipping off her headphones, through which she'd been listening to an inspirational soundtrack, she picked it up off the floor where it was plugged in and answered it. It was her best friend, Lucinda. "Hello?" "Hello, Maura. Oh my, I'm so sorry. I heard the news," Lucinda burst out. "Is it okay that I called? Are you okay? What are your parents doing?" Maura wondered how Lucinda knew. Probably Victoria had told Lucinda's mother, who had told Lucinda. "Yeah, I'm okay," she replied, acutely aware that it probably wasn't an appropriate time to admit to anyone that she'd gotten over her initial shock and was now absolutely determined to find Connor. A determination that allowed for no lingering sorrow. She knew he was alive, somewhere, probably needing her help, but other people just couldn't understand the instinct that connected the twins. "That's good. And your parents?" Lucinda asked, pulling her phone away from her face momentarily so Maura wouldn't hear her sigh of relief. She'd been afraid Maura wouldn't be in the mood to answer the phone. "I think they're going to be okay. They're all cut up like they were 3 years ago, but I think they'll recover," Maura finished. "That's good." Lucinda's laugh was nervous and strained. "What are you doing today? Are you going to be at school on Monday?" Maura glanced back at her computer and frowned. I don't know. I hope not." "Well, what'll you be doing?" Lucinda pressed. "I am working on something," Maura explained vaguely. "Okay, well, I'll leave you to it. We're going to a water park today," Lucinda added. "I hope you guys are okay." I'll see you soon, Mora. Sound good? Yeah, Mora smiled faintly. See you soon.